I'm Lauren Boyette.
Hey, I'm Samantha Kelly.
And we're here to talk about La Paz Mentally Ill Institution, which is a max security prison in La Paz County, Arizona. So we have Warden Jacoby Hawkins on the phone with us. And where exactly is La Paz located?
The facility will be located in Arizona, La Paz County to be exact. It is the second most least populated city in Arizona. The area has a 47.8 median crime rate. The name La Paz is Spanish for the peace, and our facility will stand firm on maintaining that. We chose this area because it is very spacious inside of a valley, so that inmates will truly be disconnected from society, so that rehabilitation will be their main concern.
So La Paz Mentally Ill Institution is general population, and we also read that it houses male and female.
And it's also like a good way to rehabilitate the inmates and preserve their safety and wellness, and makes it to where they live better lives.
We chose our facility to be general population because we want to rehabilitate as many people as possible. Also, we included men and women in our facility because we did not want to discriminate. Everyone needs to be helped.
That makes a lot of sense as to why there are men and women in your prison, but why did you pick, or why are y'all a federal prison? Like, what helps y'all with being a federal prison?
We need to be a federal funded facility so that we can have the required faculty in order to take care of the patients as they are needed.
The funding is definitely going to need to be there, but why a mentally ill prison? Like, what was your reasoning behind only mentally ill and nobody else? Like, what was the reasoning behind that?
I'm glad you asked that. We chose the mentally ill prison because the mentally ill are often disproportionately represented throughout many facilities throughout the country. There isn't any other facility in the U.S. that houses mentally ill, and we are here to provide that service.
So what helps make the prison run smoothly? With all the difficulties you have with the mentally ill, how do you keep everything running smoothly and on time?
I feel like the faculty, along with the patient's cooperation, help make the facility run smooth.
That was a really good answer. Our next question is, what services does your prison provide for the inmates, and how exactly do you let them work, and how do you hire all your medical personnel, and how does all that go?
I'm glad you asked. During the day, since these patients are still criminals, they have different times of the day that they can walk out into the courtyard and do their work-related duties and receive daily exercise. These chores might include gardening, picking up trash, fixing things such as benches or raking leaves. The CAF will serve the normal prison foods, with respective qualifications of some patients. Anything related health-wise they could need can be provided. If any patient gets in trouble, there is an intense maximum security cell for any patient to cool down and think about any actions. Then, once the patient is out of the intense maximum security cell, they get all privileges taken away until behaviors change, and they can slowly gain them back. A gym is in place for the yoga classes, Zumba, and basketball for those with specific privileges. These gym classes can take needed stress off of the sentences. The therapy building is for the different illnesses and their care. This is also where they might get prescribed medicine. Then the medical building gets used for both giving out prescriptions every day to patients and healing patients that might be injured.
So after looking up and finding some house rules at La Paz County Mentally Ill Institution, we found that the inmates, if they fight one another, they get put in solitary confinement for 7 days, depending on the severity of the fight, and that you have to do your house chores every day, which is the lawn care and everything that Jacoby was just talking about.
You know, it makes me kind of wonder, what if they don't do their chores? What kind of
Exactly.
punishment is there?
I mean, honestly, I think that they get either their privileges taken away or they get put in solitary confinement, just depending on what their house chore was. But I know a lot of them do all the kitchen, the cooking, and the cleaning, and everything like that. So, honestly, it's just up to the prison.
True. Here in La Paz, Arizona, with Warden Hawkins. Driving through the campus of La Paz, you can see how modern and less prison-like it is for the mental health issues.
Here we have another courtyard. Just driving through. As you can see, the campus is pretty big.
Good Trojans. Another dormitory, Rushing Hall.
La Paz County Mentally Ill Institution houses 300 inmates, and they have a very extensive waiting list. Hey inmate, can I ask you a couple questions? Can I just see your badge? Okay, so each inmate has this badge, and you can see her name and her medication. And can you tell me about your diagnosis and why you're here?
Depression and anxiety and bipolar disorder,
And
and I take Zoloft. So
And you're here for attempted second-degree murder?
yes,
Well, how do you like the prison so far? How do you like the dorms?
it's pretty nice. It's not ideal.
I'm here at the female dormitory on campus of La Paz County Prison, and we are about to go inside because I have a female inmate that's willing to take me inside and show me around and tell me a little bit more about what we're looking at. Here we have Alyssa Bailey, an inmate, and she's going to walk us through, and she's got to scan her fingerprint. Okay. And each one of these rooms, per Jacoby, has a bed, one toilet, very minimal furniture. And Alyssa, have you ever been on like suicide prevention?
Yes, they just took away my furniture, as in like a dresser and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So how many floors are there? There's 3 floors?
There's 4.
There's 4 floors.
Yes.
Okay. And as you can see, inmates can dress pretty just relaxed and casual. But this is the dorm, at least the female side. And then here you have the officer on duty's door. There's always an officer on duty. And we go up the stairs. Alyssa is a low-profile inmate at the moment. She's been in prison for 4 out of her 11 years now. She's just showing me around the dorm. And she has to have her fingerprint to get into her door. There we go.
Here I'm standing in the very middle of the semicircle formation, and behind me is the administration building, and to the right is the female, and to the left is the male side. Each building serves different purposes on this campus. Behind us is where Jacoby Hawkins resides, but each building on this at La Paz serves a different purpose. We have some notes from Jacoby about all the different buildings at La Paz. Each floor will be grouped with similarities in illness or to the same illness. This makes it easier on the personnel to regulate medicine distribution. The doors of the cells are not see-through besides one small window, and have maximum security locks on them that need personnel fingerprints to get in and out of. Also, each dorm shall have a window to view the courtyard or back of the dormitory. This window cannot be open or broken in any way. As you can see behind me, one of the inmates is out here working on their chores.
Alright, now we're walking through the educational department. This is one of the academic buildings that anybody that doesn't have their high school diploma or anything like that can get their GED. And they have a lot of education programs here, which is really extraordinary. And then you can see the bikes. They have bikes to get across campus on. Everything's gated inside. This is a really cool idea of a campus.
Here in the courtyard, you can see that it's more of a modern instead of a prison-like setting.
Alright, here we're at the fitness center. This is where the inmates can work out and do whatever they need to do to let off some steam or some stress. And now we're gonna go to the cafeteria. So basically, as we're in the cafeteria, we're not gonna be able to speak to any of the inmates because all of them are eating. But we walk you through, kind of show you around, and then we're gonna walk right through the post office where they can get mail. But it's very limited mail because we do have to still remember they're inmates. This looks way more like just not a prison, honestly. But we're gonna walk through. We gotta be quiet, but we'll try to make as less distraction as possible. Here we go.
there's some inmates gathered down there, so we're not going to go down there, but that's the post office down there. And you can see there's a whole lot of people. You can see some personnel walking around. This is awesome. So we're walking around on the campus. And so far we've got a lot of information coming in and out. But basically they have anything from doctors to any type of medical personnel, nurses. They have psychologists, psychiatrists that prescribe all the medicine. And they have anywhere from a gym athletic coordinator to run the gym, run the yoga sessions. We're walking into the park at the moment. But they also have this incredible program where you can like walk dogs and stuff like that for stress. And then you can see some people down there. They're walking a dog. Some of the inmates. But we're just gonna walk through the park. As you can see, all the cars and stuff like that is the personnel, and anybody on or off duty can leave their car here, they can house here. There's an administrative building way back there that we already passed, and that's where all the administration is held. There's also a building way behind that shows where all the inmates come in, they filter through, they get identified, and they get their badges made. And if they lose a badge, if they have to get it replaced because it won't work anymore, that's where they get it all replaced. And then here we have the back of one of the dormitories that we just went in. And that's the girl dorm. And then over off here is the male dorm. And yeah.
So we were reading online about La Paz Mentally Ill Institution that they have a very special religious views concept, and every single week, kind of like church, they have a separate room for each religion, and whoever is in that religion can go in that room and worship. And I think that is a really cool idea.
I think it's a wonderful idea, actually.
Because everybody gets their own views, and everybody gets their own way of worship. But if you're not into that, you don't have to go. But they also have that option.
And it's not like you're not taking away people's rights from not letting them worship their religion.
Exactly.
Well, that's all the time Jacoby has with us today. Thank you for answering all of our questions.